Recognizes Representative Sherman.
Madam Secretary, I hope you'd focus on the aid that Armenia needs as a result of well over 100,000 people being ethnically cleansed from Artsakh and now living in Armenia. And I hope that you direct our ambassador to Pakistan to visit Imran Khan in prison to demonstrate our dedication to the rule of law and to visit Dr. Afridi. This is in prison. This is the man that did more for America than any foreigner since Lafayette, and he languishes in a Pakistani jail. He helped us get bin Laden. Now, I'm inspired by our chair. He talks about Congress not doing its job for 15 years and not focusing on how the State Department was run. I was here. 20 plus. I was here for the 20 years. We did, and if you'd watched us on C-SPAN 3, you would have seen Congress do a good job. But today's Congress has been canceled because congressional leadership needs 6 weeks to figure out an excuse for not revealing the Epstein files or limiting those revelations only to the very few papers that are in the grand jury testimony. The chair talks about measurable outcomes. I've been here for 30 years. How many times before today have we canceled Congress in order to carry out a pedophile protection project? 0. It's measurable until now. But measurable outcomes, you don't get that way by looking at 1/10 of 1% and finding one mistake or even a collection of a few mistakes that the State Department and the USAID made. If we did that, we'd cancel the Dodger season because they committed an error last night. Measurable outcomes. We've got the Center for Global Development measuring that 3.3 million people will die this year because of the gutting of USAID. We've got Boston University demonstrating that 300,000 people have already died as a result of that. We've got the Secretary, Rubio, coming to the table you're sitting at there and saying 0 people have died. Do you stand by the Secretary in saying that when the richest man in the world took food and medicine from the poorest people in the world, that has resulted in 0 deaths? Because we want measurable outcomes. Is it 0?
Thank you, Congressman, for that question. And
I'm
I
asking,
very much stand by
I asked a
the
yes or no question. Madam Secretary, I asked a yes or no question. I want a yes or no answer. If you don't want to do that, I'll simply go on.
You're asking me
Do you
to
stand by the statement of the Secretary of State that 0 people have died in the world as a result of the gutting of USAID? Do you stand by it or not? Yes or no?
Thank you, Congressman, for your question. I stand by what Secretary Rubio says.
Thank you.
And I'm happy
thank you, because I've got more questions.
to expound if you give me an
I
opportunity.
would point out that those people will die chiefly as a result of malaria, AIDS, and tuberculosis. That disease will infect millions of people in poor countries. It will then replicate, mutate, and migrate back here in stronger form. And I know, so I want to ask the question, the State Department has no system to measure how many Americans will die when this more virulent disease comes here because the richest man in the world took medicine away from the poorest. But we've got U.S. taxpayer dollars buying 500 metric tons of emergency food that was destroyed by the State Department. That's measurable. And 80,000 doses of Mpox vaccine that were pledged to African nations are about to be destroyed. Are you focused on how we're going to literally burn taxpayer dollars by burning vaccine that is in the State Department warehouses?
I'm focused on all these things.
Thank you. Well, I hope you will give us a measurable result and tell us what the cost is of the loss, the burning already of the 500 metric tons of emergency food and the 800,000 dosages of Mpox vaccine. Please respond for the record how many taxpayer dollars were burned. Finally, Carrie Lake testified before us that we couldn't trust the viewership and listenership numbers from Voice of America. Can we trust those numbers? They are measurable. Do you trust the numbers as to what the listenership was?
I'm not sure that's relevant to the P family issues, but I'm happy to take that
Public
question.
diplomacy is very much part, and you can't do public diplomacy without broadcasting. Of course, we're going to try, having gutted Voice of America and its sister stations. I'll point out that those were also Trump administration numbers that Carrie Lake said we couldn't trust. So it's glad to know who she trusts. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.